Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Wacky and Weird Wednesday. We're going to share all the stories we're able to find of the weird and wackiness going on in the world, because animals like to get into trouble, people like to make weird decisions, and sometimes we discover new things that we didn't even think about before. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter podcast where we look up our stories right before the show, not even 10 to 15 minutes. We just jabber on for hours before I even start the show. We just got coffee in our bodies and we're learning to read and speak live on stream.
I was ready. Anyway.
Let's roll that segue, Will, but first get into today's headlines. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday. Chinese app Are You Dead? To change name after surge in popularity. And Filipino woman worships green statue for 4 years. Finds out it's an animated character, Shrek.
She worshipped it, huh? That's interesting. Greetings for Weird Wednesday for the United States. 2 Georgia inmates, that's Georgia, United States, convicted of nationwide phone scam targeting juries. And we're going to talk about the Great Pacific Garbage. Once the world's dirtiest ocean zone, is now home to dozens of species.
Rio de Janeiro zoo animals cool off with frozen treats during extreme heat wave. And time to change the locks. Tennessee candy store ransacked by bear for the 4th time.
Oh, I can hardly bear it. And also, by dumping tons of sand into the ocean for 12 years, China has managed to create a bunch of brand new islands from scratch.
In my culture news, what is 365 buttons? Everything you need to know about 2026's first viral TikTok trend.
And it's National Dress Up Your Pet Days, because your pet just loves that. Don't they? I guarantee you that. Oh, you're putting a dress on me. Great. It's January 12th, 2026 on Before Coffee.
I could put costumes on my pets, but I just know they don't like it, so it's very cute. Yeah. But I think at that point, just get a doll.
Yeah, I think dogs are like, you know what? Keeps me warm.
Yeah, just
unless you got a what do you call it? One of them bald dogs, leathery dogs. It doesn't have any skin or any fur, just got skin.
Yeah.
Maybe a sweater, but that's about it, right? I don't know. If you got a naked mole rat, make it a
yeah. Well,
there
are those dogs that don't have any fur, and those cats that have no fur. The sphinxes, I think, is what they're called.
Yeah. Yeah. If you got a little mutant, go ahead and dress them up. Dress up your dog, because they love it. Your parakeet. Dress up your parakeet. A little hat on them. Little hat, your parakeet.
Okay, let's roll our segue, Will, for our first 2 stories.
I got nothing, man. All right, let's do it. Let's get some entertainment going instead of this bickering.
That is the entertainment. What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't entertain me. I'm entertained.
Well, sometimes you have to sacrifice your own enjoyment to entertain others. That is the lesson of being an entertainer.
I'm still used to entertaining myself at this point, so I'll entertain. What did I get? A limerick?
You got hypothetical again. I feel like it's always rolling.
Hypodermic.
A hypodermic needle.
Hypodermic. Okay, all right.
This first story is coming out of China by news agencies and Al Jazeera staff. There's an app called Are You Dead in China. It's aimed at people with a solitary lifestyle and has gone viral. The company behind the Are You Dead app, targeted at people living alone, has introduced a subscription fee and changed its name for global audiences after it went viral in China. The app is called Selim in Chinese, which translates to Are You Dead? In English, it is a lightweight safety tool created for anyone choosing a solitary lifestyle. According to its development team, it requires setting up one emergency contact and sends automatic notifications if the user has not checked in via the app for consecutive days. So the loneliness epidemic in China is so bad, they're giving people a check-in app so that they can say, hey, I'm still alive. Selim said on its, which is kind of good, right? In a dark way, right? This is kind of good because there are a lot of people. I mean, there's been famous people, right, who aren't found in their homes, dead for a week or something. I think Lane Staley, famously from Alice in Chains, was found a week after he was already passed away. And
recently, Gene Hackman, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like you where I haven't seen that guy for a week. Oh, he died a week ago.
Apparently, Gene Hackman's wife died first.
And if you're living by yourself, it's even a worse. It's even a worse situation, right? There's nobody who even will checks in with you at all. And so if the app is like, you haven't checked in today, you must be dead. We're calling the police, or we're calling the ambulance, or something. Call the coroner. You haven't checked in on the Weibo, on the Selim app. It said on its official Weibo platform. Oh, sorry. It said. All right, it's a lightweight safety tool created for anyone choosing a solitary lifestyle, according to its development team. It requires setting up one emergency contact and sends automatic notifications if the user has not checked in via the app for consecutive days. Selim said on its official Weibo platform on Tuesday, which was yesterday, the 13th of January, that the company will launch the global brand name Demumu in its new version to be released soon. I feel like it should just be called Are You Dead? ? I think that was a fine app name, but maybe they didn't. Maybe the app stores weren't accepting that brand name. After extensive consideration, the Selim app will officially adopt the global brand name Demumu in its forthcoming new release, the company said in a statement. The app surged to the top of Apple's paid app chart this week. Oh my god, you have to pay for it? Well, that sucks. On Sunday, the 11th of January, the company said it would launch a 8 won or $1.15 payment scheme to help cover increasing costs. On the App Store, it was charging 8 Hong Kong dollars, which is about 1.03 USD, to download the app. Okay, so it's a one-time purchase app. It doesn't have a subscription. Sorry, your subscription to Are You Dead has been canceled. So if you're dead, we won't tell your emergency contact. China is estimated to have up to 200 million one-person households with a solo living rate exceeding 30%. Thank you for giving me a percentage, because I know there's a lot of people in China. 30% of their population is living by themselves, according to a state newspaper, the Global Times. Many, maybe some conservative people can accept it, one user said. It will make us unmarried people feel more at ease to spend our lives. So, is this the fall of society? I don't know, but I'm glad these people are able to get support. Living alone, it can be lonely, and some people choose to be alone, right? Some people have been betrayed by other humans too many times, and they don't trust anyone but themselves. And so they live alone. There's many reasons to live alone, and they still should not be forgotten about when they, just in case. Who knows? They don't have to be dead, but check in. You got to check in with somebody. Let somebody know you're still around.
Hypothetically, my phone dies. What do they do?
That is. Dead? Yeah, I think it would probably still contact your emergency contact, and they'd probably knock on your door saying, "Hey, you didn't check in today. Oh, sorry, my phone died," It's like, I don't care. I gave up on phones because of just bad news all the time. So yeah, that's my deal now. So how do you get off of those? How do you get off of those lists? Yeah, that's true.
You're on that list for the rest of your life, basically, because nobody's ever going to believe that you're alive unless you check in. It's like, you're dead. Oh fuck! Can you stop calling me? Anyway, all right.
I'm worried. My only worry is that you don't have an emergency contact. So it's like, who am I supposed to tell? My boss, I guess.
To have one to be on there. I think that's a requirement. I think that'd
exactly,
be a
it's required,
What
so
would be
you
the
need to
point?
have one. So there might be people out there who don't even have an emergency contact.
Yeah, the emergency contact dies before they do.
Oh no, they need to
An
also be
emergency
on the app.
contact, yeah, it seems to me like I would call it
There's holes in
intrusive,
the
but I guess you have
solution.
to volunteer for it. Oh yeah, it's just, I mean, are you going to make sure everybody's phone is completely charged all the time? Make sure the phone doesn't die, doesn't expire from its planned obsolescence date, because that's the thing in phones. They're just gonna go haywire at some point. There's nothing you can do about it because that's what they built into it.
And that's our hypothetical.
And,
all the things that could go wrong with this app idea.
Exactly. This is a great idea for people that are full participants, but the people that are just halftime, don't give a shit, forget it because you're old. Like you forget everything, All right,
Oops.
there's how's my skin tone looking?
Your skin tone looks great. I'll tell you when things are bad.
It looks shiny to me, so I can't see.
Yeah, you are pretty shiny. That's just your reflective. You're just reflective.
Shiny, happy people. You got another story, right?
I have another story. This one is about a woman who did not know she was praying every day to Shrek. This is by SCMP, which I didn't look up what this news site stands for. South China
Myers.
Morning Post. Okay, so it's from China, but it's from the Philippines. The woman treats the green ogre figure with great reverence, says she will continue to worship the kind-hearted cartoon statue. Hey, this is why, religions are all made up, because you know what? If you want to worship a Shrek statue, you can, and no one can stop you. This is from Yating Yang in Beijing. A woman in the Philippines spent 4 years worshiping a green Buddha statue before discovering that it was actually a 3D printed figure of a cartoon character, Shrek. Dressed as Buddha, so he has his belly out, he's in robes, his hands are in like a position, like that Buddha position, but it's Shrek's head on the happy Buddha. So
well, there you go.
And it's very green. It's like, I don't know, it's like a green screen green. The woman's misplaced faith had sparked amusement across social media. The story began 4 years ago when the unidentified woman from Manila, the capital of the Philippines, bought a Buddha statue from a local shop. With its round shape and gentle expression, she believed it to be a depiction of Buddha and treated it with great reverence. I don't know how Filipinos feel about this, but I heard from my Indonesian friends that it's not a real Buddha statue if you buy it for yourself. It has to be gifted to you. So that's also misplaced, I guess. She placed it in a prominent spot in her home altar and began worshiping it daily, offering incense and praying in the hope of receiving blessings. I feel like that's not how Buddhism works, though. You'll have to tell me. I know you didn't study Buddhism, but you studied Taoism, which is a branch of Buddhism. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be begging anyone to give you blessings. You just live your life and the blessings will come to you. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, but anyway, she's already being criticized enough for praying to Shrek. However, a visiting friend noticed the color and facial features of the statue looked quite different from a typical Buddha. You know what I mean? Like the little antennas on the side of its head? Upon a closer inspection, they discovered that the figure she had been devoutly worshipping was actually a 3D printed model of Shrek, the fictional green ogre from the animated film Shrek, known for his intimidating appearance but kind heart. Rather than feeling embarrassed or upset, she laughed and said that what truly matters was the sincerity of her prayers. That is true. You're right there. Not the figure itself. She added that the faith with good intentions mattered more than any appearance. She also said that she plans to continue worshipping Shrek. The incident sparked amusement on social media. One person said, "This is honestly hilarious. She had gained merit, but I have just lost 1 point of merit for laughing at her good-heartedness." Another said, "Devotion and faith in God comes from within. So what if she worships Shrek? What matters that the devotion is sincere?" The moral of the story is that sometimes you need to watch cartoon films too, said a third. While a fourth person added, Buddhism has long absorbed elements from various local folk beliefs, so it is not surprising that, or even shocking, that someone might offer prayers to Shrek as a form of Buddha. If there is a Buddha in your heart, then that is a Buddha. The incident echoes a similar case that happened in Premlock Park in Prune, in Poon, India last June, when water suddenly began gushing out of the trunk of a royal Pornosian tree. Locals mistook it for a divine miracle and flocked to the site to worship. However, it was later revealed that the holy water was actually caused by a damaged underground pipe beneath the tree, which allowed water to seep in through its hollow trunk. And they were praying to... I hope they weren't drinking the sewer water. I'm sure it was clean water, right, guys? There's your story on the Buddhist ogre.
Yes, and hypothetically, like you said, what's wrong with a religion based on that? What are other religions?
It's just as made up as everything else. Right? So yeah.
Buddhism is much younger than Taoism. Just want to point that out.
Oh, okay. I thought Taoism was a branch of Buddhism.
Well, Buddha came along. Taoism already existed. The person they called Buddha. Okay, back to Shrek, which I had to look up, is a actual Yiddish word for fright. So, however, it has been turned into an acronym. And it does have a religious connotation. So hypothetically, you could have a religion based on Shrek, the acronym, which the acronym says sleep, hunger, relaxation, exercise, and kindness. So there's your 5 principles of the Shrek religion, which this lady should start. She should start a church. This ain't the United States, though, is it? Is it the United States?
No, this is the Philippines, but they might have similar laws because, they were conquered by Spain and the United States at some point.
I don't know what their constitution says, but the United States churches don't have to pay taxes. So maybe I'll start a Shrek church and never pay taxes again. There's your hypothetical.
Yes, all your donations to Before Coffee are funding our Shrek church. So thank you for your donations, and we can write it off.
I'm not sure hunger's a great thing. It says sleep, hunger, relaxation, exercise, and kindness. I guess hunger has to do with fasting, perhaps.
And also you have to eat
Maybe
onions.
Be part of my religious head.
Instead of, you have to eat those special bread for Jesus or whatever. Yeah. And then wine, instead you have to eat onions and, I don't know, drink mud. I don't know what Shrek drinks. I just know he eats onions.
And don't forget Donkey, because Donkey, again,
the great disciple Donkey, also known as Eddie Murphy.
We can say the donkey was the actual donkey that Mary rode on when she was pregnant with Jesus, right? And that we can worship him for that. We can drag it into the Christian religion and make sure they get all warm and gushy about it, right? Yeah, well, Jesus rode a donkey, and that's the donkey he rode. Right, thank you very much, religion. Gave us another deity. We have 2 more deities, Shrek and Donkey.
All right, let's roll our next segue. For your story, your weird and wacky stories.
Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers, if you don't know the actors' voices.
I'm going to give you some...
All right, how are we going to do?
Ooh, is that accurate metaphor? It reminds me of a song, right on the cusp.
Right on, reminds you of a song. Songs about jail. There's lots of those, right?
There are.
Song, he says here. Okay. This is about 2 Georgia. Hey, you ever get thrown in prison? Hey, you don't have to stop making money. You can still scam people from your pay phone at the prison cell or whatever your 40 minutes of phone privileges every week or whatever you get. Go scam people. This is from WALB.com. It's Albany, Georgia television station. 2 Georgia inmates convicted in nationwide phone scam targeting jury duty people. It says victims, but you're on jury duty, you're not a victim. You're just a jurist. According to Department of Justice, 2 South Georgia inmates involved in a nationwide cell phone scheme were found guilty in federal court Friday, January 9th of 2026. Joey Amor Jackson, or a.k.a. Apes, along with Lance Riddle, a.k.a. Seaport. Apes in Seaport. Nice name. Both of the Calhoun State Prison were found guilty of 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. The trial began on January 5th. Well, that's a short trial. Before senior U.S. District Court Judge Louis Sands Albany, the defendants both faced a maximum of 30 years in prison for wire fraud and a maximum of 20 years in prison for money laundering, to be followed by 3 years of supervised release along with $250,000 fine per count. Where are they going to get that money from? Oh my God. Well, let's just see if you... Well, they probably got it from wire fraud. Well, I guess it's going to have to do more wire fraud to pay that fine. According to the court documents, the scam victims were told by the two defendants that they had warrants for their arrest due to missing jury duty. That's good. The defendants were posing as law enforcement, attempting to accept payments from citizens. The victims were told that they were under gag orders and could not speak about their warrants until their bond was paid, or they would be arrested. All right, you're that stupid. Go ahead. Give them money, I guess. The victims are always instructed to purchase gift cards and to read the numbers off the back of the cards to the defendants. Oh, are you sure this is on the up and up? Are you sure I gotta buy a gift card? I've known people that have been scammed on this. That gift card gives it away. That gives it away. It just totally gives it away. It's untraceable. Once the bond was paid, the victims were told to go to their local police department and verify the signature on the bond. Officials said that the scheme resulted in more than $464,920 documented losses, over 100 victims nationwide. Boy, those jackasses must have had a lot of money. They were giving an average of almost $5,000 to these clowns. Imagine being that stupid. Wow. And not even prison cells prevented these criminals from harming dozens of innocent people. Hopefully, this verdict will bring some level of comfort to the victims and prevent others from falling for similar scams. The FBI will continue to work with our law enforcement partners, not only to addressing these scams with inmate-based crimes, but also preventing inmates access to contraband cell phones to provide means to do so much harm in the unsuspecting public, said FBI Atlanta Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown. There's your quick story on these two clowns and all the poor bastards who I don't know. I didn't get a jury summons. I don't know why this guy's calling me. I would call the local judge and say, is this on the up and up? I would call everybody. Just somebody out of the blue accusing you of shit. Wake the fuck up, morons. Wake up. Wake up. You're getting scammed. Let's have us a song.
Okay, I've got a song for you, and it is, of course, one of my favorite songs. I'm gonna break my rusty cage and run. Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Soundgarden, of course. I wish I could do the whole... I wish I could sing like him, but I can't. But he has that kind of raspiness. I can't do it. But
you can do the Johnny Cash version. Johnny Cash.
No, I wanted to do this one, and that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna break his jail cage and run. But I didn't do any of that stuff. Your next story.
Why is your cage rusty? Were you underwater? I'm okay. Now the next...
Because they're for-profit prisons, so they don't use any of the money to actually, pay for infrastructure improvements. all the jail cells are rusted over.
Hopefully, right. Hopefully you can find a song by the female punk band Garbage for this story, right? Because the Great Pacific Garbage, once known as the world's dirtiest ocean zone, is now home to dozens of species. Yes, we rely on our plastic, right? We rely on our plastic for everyday life, and now the people in the ocean, the dolphins and so forth, are like, hey, we got some shade. It floats, it drifts, it doesn't break down. Plastic in the ocean is everywhere, but now it's going more and polluting. It's becoming something else. In the middle of it, I gotta attribute the story. DailyGalaxy.com. Amiri is the person's hard to pronounce name. It floats, it drifts, it doesn't break down. Plastic in the ocean is everywhere, but now it's doing more than polluting, it's becoming something else. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, where no island or coastlines exist, small marine animals are settling. They're not just riding the currents, they're building communities. Some are growing, others are reproducing. All of them are doing it on plastic. No, they're not using their credit cards.
No.
Yeah, it's actual physical plastic. This wasn't supposed to happen. Well, humans did this. We're humans. This is what we do, man. We just fuck things up and leave. The open ocean has always been too harsh for coastal life. No rocks, no seafloor, no anchor, but floating trash is changing that. It's providing a surface, a home. Researchers are beginning to see the plastic debris as not just a waste, but it's a new kind of habitat. What it means for marine life and for the ocean as a whole. is only starting to come into focus. A team of scientists recently studied 105 pieces of large plastic debris collected from the North Pacific subtropical gyre. That's the swirling ocean current system where the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is located, or the GP. This is the zone where plastic tends to gather and stay. The researchers found that 98% of the items had marine life attached. In total, they identified 46 different types of small animals, including barnacles, crabs, amphipods, and anemones. And those species, 37, are usually found near coastlines. That means animals that typically live on rocks, piers, and the seabed are now surviving far from shore. And if they detach from the plastic garbage, they're going to die because they need that shelter and stability. These findings are part of a study published in the Nature, Ecology, and Evolution, which analyzed how both coastal and open ocean species have formed lasting communities on plastic debris in the gyre, G-Y-R-E. I think that's how it's pronounced. Many of the species weren't just surviving, they were reproducing. Some carried eggs, others showed signs of different growth stages. In some cases, scientists saw young and adult animals living together in the same plastic object. The most heavily colonized items were ropes and nets. Their tangled shapes provide more space to hold on and more protection from waves and predators. These artificial surfaces are now acting like miniature islands for species that were once thought unable to survive in open water. The North Plastic subtropical gyre is now a slow-moving loop of ocean currents. It stretches between Asia, North America, and Hawaii. Because of the way the currents flow, anything floating into this area tends to stay there. That includes plastic. This system, known for its role in creating oceanic garbage patches, is explained in more detail in the North Pacific Gyre Wikipedia page, which describes how stable circulation traps debris in its center. And debris it does capture, not just plastic, just ropes, everything, right? Metal. Over time, floating debris builds up in the middle of the gyre. This creates a Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which now contains an estimated 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic based on the data from the Environmental Initiative, the Ocean Cleanup. Most of those pieces are small, but more than 90% of the total mass comes from large items like fishing gear and containers. Unlike natural materials like driftwood or seawood, plastic doesn't rot or sink quickly. It can float for years. This gives the animals plenty of time to find it, attach it, and build small ecosystems on it. Because the gyre moves slowly and keeps plastic in circulation, it gives these new marine communities a chance to grow in one place, even in the middle of the ocean. In 2011, the tsunami in Japan, millions of tons of debris were swept into the Pacific. That debris included boats, docks, plastics, and other materials, as documented on the Wikipedia page, which was called the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. In the years that followed, scientists discovered many of these objects still carried coastal marine species alive when they reached places like Hawaii and North America. More than 280 different species made that journey. Some survived the floating debris as long as 6 years. This showed that coastal life, given the right conditions, could tolerate life at sea. There's your fun little article on, these guys, all these beasts, all these things that live in the sea, they need some permanent structure, and getting rid of this plastic will wipe them out, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a chance for getting rid of this plastic. These things are huge. We'd have to get them one piece at a time. And there's a map here that shows 5 different plastic accumulation zones. There's one in the Pacific Ocean and North Pacific between, of course, Japan and the United States. In the South Pacific between Australia and South America. In the Indian Ocean between Africa and Australia. And there's one in the North Atlantic and one in the South Atlantic, right? One off the coast of South America and one between North America and Europe. So there's your fun little floating plastic garbage story. You gotta update the floating plastic garbage every once in a while.
I mean, I think I even saw, probably talked about this on one Wacky and Weird or Good Tuesday or something, that there's actually an animal, or more of like a sea animal, some sort of sea organism that actually has learned to eat plastic. because there's so much of it there. They're like, hey, I can eat this. I don't know if there's any nutrients in it, but I think that's why it's not an actual. It's not an animal. It's definitely like a proto-organism because it's like a cell, right? It's a single cell organism or something. It's not alive, so to say. It's able to break down plastic and turn it into something. I mean, there has to be energy in there because it takes energy to make plastic, so there has to be something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's carbon.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't have a lot of hydrogen though. That's the problem. Hydrogen is energy.
Yeah.
Carbon
is
just kind of
hydrocarbons. Maybe.
Carbon's a byproduct of energy.
Yeah.
And carbon stores energy, and it's a semiconductor. So, I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist. It seems to me, something's eventually going to eat everything. So, yeah, even plastic.
And that's the cool thing about life, I guess. It finds a way. Yeah, okay, so there's a bacteria. Yeah. Bacteria is technically not a single-cell organism, I think. But it eats rubber and digests plastics. So,
right.
And it was discovered, I don't know when it was discovered, but it's called the
last Tuesday.
Rhodococcus.
Wow.
And there's also another one called the Idonella saccienis. It's a bacterium that eats plastic. It can eat PET specifically, plastic polyethylene terephthalate. Oh my god. Anyways, thanks chemists for making really hard things to pronounce. My song for you today, for this article, is It's a Casio on a plastic beach. It's a Casio on a plastic beach. It's styrofoam deep sea landfill. It's styrofoam deep sea landfill. It's automatic computer speech. It's automatic computer speech. It's a Casio on a plastic beach. It's a Casio. A Plastic Beach by the Gorillaz. Which is,
I don't know, I'm doing
that whole album was basically just about environmentalism and how we're, everything's turning into plastic. We're just gonna be living on plastic, floating in the ocean.
Right on. But no, it's not on the beach. This is plastic isn't on the beach. It's on the middle of the ocean.
The beach is made out of plastic. There's no land. That's it's all plastic. We've been swamped under. Okay, next segue.
I think we need to conquer this land. We need to conquer this and plant a flag there and say this.
We're gonna be doing bad pun. Bad pun.
Funny.
My next two stories, which are both short. First one is about the zoos in Rio de Janeiro. There's a huge heat wave happening all over the southern hemisphere because for anybody who doesn't know how globes work, it's summer right now in the southern hemisphere. And the animals at the zoo need popsicles so they don't die of overheating. This is from Mario Lobau on AP News, coming out of Rio de Janeiro. Animals at the Rio de Janeiro's Bioparque Zoo received popsicles and frozen treats yesterday on the 13th of January as the city faced another day of extreme heat during Brazil's summer. Jaguars, monkeys, and other animals were given a nice diet prepared according to each species' needs, zoo officials said. Some received frozen fruit, while others were offered mixtures containing frozen blood. Probably the predators, right? They need to have that frozen blood. A group of monkeys were handed watermelon popsicles by zookeepers because they can actually hold popsicles. A jaguar tried to fish out ground chicken popsicles from a tray that floated in a water tank. When she tries to fish out the frozen food, she ends up ingesting water as well, said Letizia Fitosa, a biologist at the zoo. This is important for hydration. Zoo officials said the frozen foods are part of a routine animal care and help provide thermal comfort during periods of extreme heat. Similar initiatives were carried out last summer as high temperatures affected much of Brazil's southeast. Temperatures in Rio de Janeiro rose over 40 degrees Celsius, which is 104 Fahrenheit, on the 11th and 12th of January, prompting city authorities to issue a level 3 heat alert and warned of health risks linked to prolonged exposure, like heat stroke, and also probably skin cancer too. The high temperatures haven't stopped residents from visiting Bioparque Zoo, where they watch the animals licking on their red popsicles. I thought it was really cool, said Lorena Carvalho, a teacher visiting the zoo, I think it brings them more comfort. Especially since we're the ones who are causing them the discomfort. I don't think the alligators are responsible for the hot planet we're living on right now. But there's my short story.
Alligators did it. Blame them.
Popsicles for the animals.
Oh boy. Oh, that was quick.
I told you these are really short stories, yeah.
Yep. Having a hard time coming up with a heat pun. Other than I'm sweating out trying to come up with a heat pun. I guess that's my heat pun. There you are. That's my heat pun. I can't come up with one that quick.
Sweating it out with the rest of the animals. My next story is coming
See you later,
out
alligator.
of... Where was I? Oh, here we go. This is from Olivia, Ireland on The Independent. A candy store has been ransacked by a bear for the 4th time, with the owner hoping the animal can be found and released into the wilderness. Glade's Homemade Candies in Gatlinburg, near the North Carolina border, posted images of its damaged store on social media. A bear has ravaged our beloved candy shop for the 4th time. Let us join hands in prayer that it is safely captured, the store owners wrote. How about you hire somebody to hunt the bear down?
It's probably illegal to shoot him, right?
God, I'm pretty sure if the bear is ravaging your candy store, God has commanded it, if you believe God is involved. We have nurtured our arts and craft business in the community for 35 years, spreading joy and love to our customers, blessed by divine providence, but this persistent bear is a challenge we urgently need to overcome. We are grateful for your prayers. Okay, dude. The owners also said that at the Gatlinburg natives, they deeply respected and cared for the bears and hope it has brought safety to the woods. The picture shows one half of the double door entrance completely smashed in, with shattered glass scattered on the ground. Trays and tip bucket with a white liquid are scattered at the entrance, with a sign saying, "Please excuse the bear's mess," as it was looking for snacks. A tall tray holder appears to have tipped over onto the wooden paneling inside the store, with more shattered glass on the floor. Candy and biscuits appear to be strewn on the floor. Glade's Homemade Candies told 6 News it had taken all reasonable precautions to avoid the bear accessing the store. This included keeping doors secured, using bear-proof dumpsters, and implementing additional security measures. The incident has been reported to Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, which confirmed to 6 News it was aware of the incident and wildlife officers were investigating the case. The Independent contacted the TWRA for comment. Meanwhile, in California, this is the story. This is the story you're mentioning. The 550-pound black bear has been living under a man's house for months.
It's moved.
That story about the bear. That's why I was like, why are they talking about that? Because it's another bear story. Hey, the bears are hungry. It's winter time. And
we have an update on that
I definitely advise people to not pray to help with the bear, but actually just do something about it, because the prayers aren't working. If this is the 4th time it's happened, the prayers are not working. No one's listening.
There you go. If you're praying for the bear is going to turn you into prey. There's my pun. Bears will eat everything, including you. So I don't think prayer.
Though I think eating you is a bit too much of a hassle at the moment, but.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. I can't bear another story like this.
All right, let's roll our segue wheel for your next weird and wacky stories.
And I sent you a video, which clears up is the latest update on that bear that moved into a guy's house. So I did send you that video. So I don't know if it's the latest update, but it's a update.
It's definitely a huge bear. That's all I can say. 440 pounds bear.
The one that moved into the guy's basement or crawl space is 600 pounds.
Yeah.
So, really big bear.
Okay, my next segue is mixed metaphor.
Okay, mixed metaphors. I got one story. You'll be glad I got one story. All right. What the heck? I just closed it by accident. All right, well, let's go to history and find it. Sorry about that. Going to history. Crap. Lost my story. Here we go. Found it again. I closed it. Sorry, my mistake. This is a story about China and forming a new island slowly over time. This is ThaiHut.org. I don't know if it's Thailand or Taiwan. Max Olivier is the writer. By dumping tons of sand into the ocean for 12 years, China has managed to create brand new islands from scratch. At first it looked like a mirage, a smear of beige against the heavy blue of the South China Sea. Then the shape sharpened into roads, radar domes, a runway cutting dead straight across what a decade earlier had been nothing but water. The air smelled of diesel, hot metal, and wet salt. Seabirds circled above the concrete breakwaters that hadn't existed on any map when today's recruits were in primary school. The captain didn't bother to hide his awe. "This was open ocean," he muttered, half to himself, half to no one. "Nothing here." Now there were floodlights, cranes, and a helipad, and a line of young trees trying hard to survive in imported soil. All this resting on sand that had once lain quietly in the seabed. For 12 years, China has been dumping that sand into the ocean, turning shoals into islands and empty reefs into fortified outposts. The question gnawing at everyone nearby is simple, even if the answers aren't. On satellite images, the transformation looks almost like time-lapse magic. One year you see a bleached ring of coral barely breaking the surface at low tide. A few years later, there's a bright geometric splash of white and gray, edged by straight lines that only humans draw. Engineers call it land reclamation. Locals watching their fishing grounds sink tend to use harsher words. Yeah, the fishermen getting to put it out of business or having to go farther out. China focused on scattering reefs and low tide elevations across the Spratly Islands, one of the world's most contested seas. Dredgers scooped up sand from the seabed and pumped it into these fragile structures, building them up layer by layer. The speed was stunning. In some places, what looked like a smudge in 2013 had become a runway-worthy 3-kilometer strip by 2016. So in 3 years, they had a runway strip. That's not just construction. That's rewriting the map. Between 2013 and 2016 alone, Chinese crews created more than 1,200 hectares of new land in the Spratlys. That's roughly the size of, here we go, 1,600 football fields. That didn't help me. I don't know how that helps anybody. Everybody's got football fields. Everybody. This is actually written by a person in Britain who uses British words, so I don't think this is American football fields. It's football fields. They're all the same size, by the way. Okay. I'm not taking it personally. I'm saying this is nothing to do with about America. It's just football fields. Football is soccer in most places. Conjured out of salt water and sediment. I understand. I understand it fell flat on me. Okay. All right. Mischief Reef, previously named only to sailors and lawyers, now hosts long airstrips, hangars, and radar equipment. Fiery Cross Reef, once a lonely, wave-smashed outcrop, has become a full-blown island with deep harbors, fuel storage, and hard shelter. My point on football fields is telling me it's 1,600 football fields does not help me in any way. I can't visualize 1,600 football fields either. So why are you telling me? I've always had a problem with this. The Olympic swimming pool, that's another one I gotta write down. It says 7,000 Olympic swimming pools. I'm like, I have no concept what an Olympic swimming pool is. So how is that supposed to help me? Officially, the buildup was framed as supporting civilian facilities, rescuing ships, aiding navigation on the ground, or rather on the fresh concrete. The mix tells a different story. Lighthouse shares space with anti-aircraft batteries. Weather stations sitting next to radar domes. The islands look like any modern Chinese city neighborhood at first glance. Net roads, white buildings, and cell towers. Then you see missile platforms. Yeah, the government built it. You don't think they're going to use it for government reasons? The engineering logic behind these islands is simple, even if the geopolitics are not. If you want a military or logistical foothold far from your natural coastline, you need hard, stable ground. Natural islands are rare and contested in the South China Sea. Sand, though, is everywhere. Dredgers carve channels into the seabed, sucking up sediment, blasting into the selective reefs. Bulldozers then push, flatten and compact the new material, while rock and concrete walls hold it in place against waves and storms. Once the outline is fixed, the real work begins. Foundations for the buildings, power plants, desalination units, fuel depots. Soil is brought in for planted trees and a thin layer of green. What looks like an island is in reality a carefully engineered platform constantly fighting erosion, salt, wind, and time. An island of life support. So yeah, these are manufactured islands that are going to require constant maintenance before they get washed away. But there's your story. It goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and a day. I'm not going to go that far. I think you get the gist of it. China is building islands so they can have missile sites, radars. Yep. And maybe they can collect some garbage and add to it, right? Yeah, I don't know. Some plastic. That's your story. That was a mixed metaphor about. I don't know. No. Of course I don't. Mixed metaphor! I hear you. Really? How long has that been happening?
2?
I can go back and look.
Yes, okay, I fixed it. I'm not gonna look up if it was. I'm pretty sure I changed it just now. What are we doing?
All right.
Mixed metaphor.
Mixer.
The creation of a military island by China is akin to a chess player meticulously positioning pieces on the board.
Ooh.
They're trying to dominate the surrounding waters and control the game. I feel like I don't know if the article is supposed to be like freaking people out or what's the goal there, but
it's basically saying, well, China, why do you need more land, China? It's not that they need more land.
That's why.
It's that they need strategically placed land.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what it is.
To specifically for America, I guess, because they're already close to everyone else.
To continue to threaten Thailand.
They're attached to what I like to call the Eurasian continent, so they're already pretty close to everyone else. Damn you, America! We're gonna get closer to you. You can't stay away from us.
Yeah, it's off in the Pacific. They're not really getting that close to us. So
maybe this is their first test. What was the name of that one film where the Chinese invade America? Something about the red something. It was an old movie. No?
Never heard of it. No, no clue. Never heard of a Chinese movie. Heard of
not a Chinese movie. It's an American film made about an alternate future where China invades.
Never heard.
You've never heard of it? Okay.
Clue. Not a clue. If it's famous, I never heard of it. If it's not famous,
I think it was. It's been remade, so it must have been famous enough that people remade it to a modern version. Dawn. You've never heard of Red Dawn? This film, Red Dawn.
That was about the Russian. That was Russians and Cubans. It wasn't Chinese.
Okay.
Russians and Cubans. No Chinese. Zero Chinese.
In Red Dawn?
So if they remade it with Chinese, I didn't see it. But that was Russia and Cuba. The one with Patrick Swayze that was filmed in Las Vegas, New Mexico. That one was about Russia and Cuba.
Okay.
And it was
I guess they remade it in 2012, and it was about China, and it has the actor who plays Thor. I forget his name right now.
Oh, okay. So they remade the movie, but they changed the plot, which
China.
they might have just made. Yeah, they should have just made a different movie. I mean, what's the problem here?
I don't know. can't tell you.
Just make a different movie.
I don't know what to say. I can't.
I never
explain to you.
understand why they got to remake movies that made money. That's what it is. That's all it is. It made money. Let's remake it.
Yeah,
okay.
they go to a. Oh no, maybe this one is still about North Korea and Russia. Okay, well I don't know. There was definitely a movie about China. Maybe the
North
Dragon
Korea.
Day. Maybe
Cuba.
Dragon Day is the movie that's
Cuba.
about China invading, or Empire of the
said North
Sun. What
Korea.
is Empire of the Sun about?
Empire of the Sun's about the Chinese
Japan,
dynasty.
because it has the Japanese flag on it.
It's already the Japanese dynasties. Anyway, no, I never mentioned North Korea. It was Cuba and Russia, not North Korea.
Yeah, I'm saying the newer
anyway,
one
let's,
was about North Korea and Russia, because Cuba is
In the wheel.
in 2012. Cuba is a non-factor. By 2012, people were like, okay, Cuba's not invading anybody.
Tell Stinky the Clown that. He wants to invade them tomorrow.
Yeah. Back in the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, maybe, but now Cuba's not a threat to anybody anymore. Anyways, tangent aside, there's my metaphor, and that's your only story?
Cuba's still a Russian satellite.
Is that your only story?
That's your number one trading partner, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely
Then
my
let's
only
roll
story.
the
It was way
segue
too
wheel.
long as it was. Way too long. All right, I got my video loaded. I might as well do that.
It's time for you to give me a limerick. For my culture story. This story is about buttons. I keep on thinking the audio is getting buzzy, so I have to keep checking it because I'm paranoid. This story is coming out of, social media. I don't know where the actual person is from. Maybe it'll be mentioned in the story by David Morquand on Euronews Culture. 2026 has its first viral TikTok trend, 365 buttons. Confused? Don't worry, David's here for us to explain it to us. The 365 button craze started with a TikTok user named Tamara, Fly Like a Dove, posting her strategy for self-improvement in the new year. She said, I'm getting buttons, 365 buttons, one for each day, because I want to do more stuff and I'm scared of time, so I want to be more conscious of it. So another button, another day wasted, I guess, is the idea. An interesting concept and a cute way of marking the passage of time, similar to marking a date on the calendar with an X, right? However, her initiative prompted some confusion, with the main question being, what is 365 buttons? Tamara replied, one for every day. This only confused people further. Would Tamara be collecting buttons, putting them in a jar, wearing them, flicking them at people? She clarified, just to have to see how quick days pass and to remind myself that time passed and I just have fun and do a lot of stuff. The wholesome explanation was apparently not enough for some TikTokers, and more questions followed, leading a seemingly exasperated Tamara to hit back. Hey, so it actually only has to make sense to me, for me to do it, and I don't feel like explaining it to anyone else. Fair enough, but her response has now become a viral meme, which has taken on a life of its own. What started as a 365 buttons to visually represent the year going by and being mindful about how quickly time passes has inadvertently become 2026's go-to life lesson about learning to do your own thing without stopping to explain yourself. Everyone is getting in on what has apparently become an iconic catchphrase. On January 2nd, Tumblr declared 2026 the year of 365 buttons in a post on Twitter. Tumblr posted on Twitter. Just use your own fucking website, Tumblr, and get off Twitter, idiots. Anyways, the account for the Empire State Building revealed they had adopted Tamara's I don't feel like explaining it to anyone else motto. The Philadelphia Eagles official TikTok account posted a video with a large box of buttons, badges with the question, all right, Tamara, now what? Even indie bluegrass band Karma Creek uploaded a new song, Tamara's Button Song, using lines from Tamara's exchanges online. That sounds funny.
What is wrong?
That sounds funny. I'm going to look that up.
True.
Some have also pointed out how brat Tamara's response was to the confused commenters was, resulting in her quotes formatted like the cover of Charlie's XYes's hit and Zeitgeist capturing album. So if you hear anyone using Tamara's phrase, or if you spot a meme about 365 buttons, let's hope you feel a little less lost. Either celebrates 365 buttons as an empowering life philosophy for 2026, as not everything has to make sense to everyone and you can do whatever makes you happy. Or marvel, lose your fragile sanity further over another depressing reminder how quickly a simple phrase like, I don't feel like explaining it to anyone else, can capture the internet's imagination and become shared, disordered social media language. Hey, at least it feels like a step up from 6'7". Yeah, I talked about this before the show started, but I saw this trend happen live on my social media. Just everyone going, why is she so annoyed that people answered her post and asked her questions? Don't post it on the internet if you don't want people to ask you questions about it. Turn off comments. Go private. You know, there's so many different things. Instead, she just replied, you guys need to mind your own business. He didn't mention that in the article, but she had a post later that said, you need to mind your own goddamn business. And it's just like, then don't share your business online, lady. If you don't want people to be in your business, don't share it online. Tamara's, I want to look up this Tamara's button song thing. Give me a sec here. Let me mute that. I don't want to output any audio here. Oh, why is it in a different language? Okay. Karma Creek, Tamara's Button song. I just want to listen to this song a little bit. Here it is. Full version TikTok. It's going to make me sign into TikTok, isn't it? Let's see if I can share this. Oh, it's unmuted. I need to unmute it. She's a pretty good singer too, actually. I know you can't hear this, but you'll hear it on the replay. So this is the trend of just people. I know you can't see the video, but it's just a woman playing on the guitar.
Okay. Right.
I don't know. I don't have to know, okay? You just have to carry a button around every day. No one has to make sense to you, for you.
All right, I got 2 limericks whenever you're ready. I got nothing to do while you're doing this, so I don't even know what's going on.
That's okay. You can just do nothing. You'll survive. Anyways, that was Tamara's Button song. I just wanted to look that up and listen to it because actually it was really well sung. And all right, let me go back over here, turn that off, and give me your limerick.
Oh, okay, limerick time. The first one goes like this. Weirdness creates its own news. People everywhere turning on the screws. Trends about buttons. 4 internet meme gluttons. Counting fasteners can chase away the blues. Counting fasteners.
Or maybe it hastened the blues because you realize, oh, I already have 12. Everyone should have 14 buttons on their sweater right now. That's how many days we're in the year.
Waiting for the applause to die down here so I can write my next one right.
I'm opening it. I have to switch computers.
There you go.
Switch computers to play the soundboard.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I got another one. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, you have another one. Okay.
Yeah, I had time to write another one. Okay. I'm going to call her, this is a classic case of pick me girl. When pick me girl goes wrong, then blowback can be strong. So don't post your memes if you don't want screams from losers who just put away the bong.
I don't understand what you're saying, man. Can you explain it better? No, I don't have to explain it to you. It's my thing.
Buttons,
leave me alone.
Is that like your belly button? Is that you got that many belly button?
I mean, to be honest, right, I don't think it needs to be explained. It's pretty obvious what she means, what she's doing. But yeah, it is funny that people asked her questions to make sure they understood completely what she was intending, and then she just got completely taken out by it. Just like, please don't ask me questions.
It's just some unfortunate stuff, right? We gotta hear about it. All right.
I didn't know anyone. First of all, I didn't know anyone would see this post. Second of all, I didn't know anyone would care about me collecting buttons. Okay, and that's all I would have said. And then I would have said, now I'm muting this and going private, and you guys can talk among yourselves. I've got a haiku for our segue, so more poetry here at the end of the show. Take it away. This day in history.
I sent you a video. Hope you have it.
Yes, I already put the bear in. It's all ready.
1526 on this day, if this is the right day, make sure. January 14th, yes, okay. Treaty of Madrid was signed by the Habsburgs. We're always talking about them guys, the Habsburgs. The Habsburg Emperor Charles V and Francis I, King of France, who had been captured during the Battle of Pavia in February 1525 and held prisoner until the conclusion of the treaty, when he was allowed to return to France. We captured your king. It's like a game of chess in real life, right? 1784, the Continental Congress ratified the Peace of Paris, which formally ended the American Revolution, though fighting had long since ended. But it recognized the independence of the United States. So as we want to pretend our Independence Day was 1776, that's just the day we declared it. We said, we're independent from England, you bastages! Get off our land! It was 8 years later before a bunch of other countries recognized the United States as a country. 1861, Mehmed VI, the last Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, was born. Happy birthday to him! Gonna be a lot of candles on that one. 1900, the opera Tosca, a Puccini opera, a psychological drama of deceit and doubt. One of the greatest exponents of operatic realism, as they modestly proclaim here on the Britannica website, made its world premiere in Rome's Costanzi Theater, and it was all in Italian. And if you can understand Italian, you know what they were singing about. 1941, Faye Dunaway was born in Bascom, Florida. Became best known for her tense, absorbing performances in movies such as Chinatown and Network. Very good movies. I still can't get over Network, where all the networks at the time said, that's never going to happen on news. News is never going to care just about ratings. Well, it was like less than a generation later. We had Fox News, which is all about ratings. And
now all of them are like that, actually.
Driving the public domain. Yeah, they're all like it now. It's all about, oh my God, we got to put things on to get people to watch, and that's all that matters. Screw the news. 1954, Joe DiMaggio, baseball player with the longest hit streak in history, married Marilyn Monroe in City Hall in San Francisco. So a happy anniversary to the couple. Oh wait, they got divorced a couple years later. Never mind. 1970.
Celebrity is as celebrity does.
Yeah. Yep. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? He's gone he's in a grave now. That's where he's gone.
Really?
1970, the Supreme stage. Well, yeah. I mean, he was nearly 100 years old if he was alive. 1970, the Supreme staged their final concert with Diana Ross. Diana Ross got a solo career. She started out as just one of the Supremes and became the big star. She got all the solos.
And then she was on The View or something, wasn't she, later or something? I don't know.
No, she wasn't on The View.
Oh, okay.
Diana Ross, anyway, the Supremes continued performing with other members without Diana Ross as a threesome until 1977. So 7 years. She left the Supremes the same time the Beatles broke up. It basically happened at the same time. 1997, Greek archaeologists announced that they had discovered an ancient site at Athens that may have been Aristotle's Lyceum, or it may not have been.
We'll never know.
They discovered a site. Nonetheless, it's a site. Well, we might know. They said it might have been. There may be some verification later, like he left behind, his comb or something, right? Hey, there's Aristotle's comb. Check it out. 2005, the Huygens probe, developed by the European Space Agency and delivered by NASA's Cassini orbiter, landed on Saturn's largest moon, Titan. Cassini was the first spacecraft to orbit Saturn, and Huygens was the first spacecraft to land on any celestial body beyond Mars. And when we say beyond Mars, we mean farther away from the sun than Mars. I think that's what they mean by that. 2011, Tunisian President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali stepped down following a mass protest against poverty. The Arab Spring, they called it back in 2011. And the political repression, the uprising in Tunisia became known as the Jasmine Revolution. Okay, it had a real name before there was uprisings in Egypt and other places. 2024, after 52 years on the throne, Queen Margaret with a THE at the end, the second of Denmark abdicated, and her eldest son, Crown Prince Frederick, became King Frederick X. I don't know what the King of Denmark does anything. The only King of Denmark I've ever actually heard of was Hamlet. And his father, don't forget his father. And his uncle Polonius. They were all kings of Denmark, right? At one time. Well, wait, did Hamlet ever become king? I don't know if he ever did.
I think he died. Sorry, spoilers for Hamlet, but he dies. So I don't think he becomes king.
Yeah. Well, we know his uncle Polonius killed his father, and his father's ghost came back and said, I was murdered!
By my own brother.
My brother married my wife. Yeah, these people are terrible. And Hamlet's like, to be or not to be? Oh, stop with your philosophical shit, Hamlet. There's murder going on.
He was more like, I'm going to go insane because no one's going to believe me that I saw my father's ghost and he told me that. I have to prove it without being crazy. Oh, did you just pick up a problem?
Poor Yorick. Poor Yorick. I knew him well, Horatio. Anyway. No, I know a lot of Hamlet lines. I can't help it. I read it in high school and college, so there you go. I am a Hamlet versed. A little bit, anyway. 1973, the conclusion of a perfect NFL season happened as the Miami Dolphins won the Super Bowl against the Redskins. They went 17-0. That's kind of sad now because now they play 17 games in the regular season, and then you have to go, I think, 20-0 to get a perfect season now. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The season's too long. Too many injuries pile up. By the time most teams' season's over, their quarterback's injured. Half of their team is injured. Uninjured reserve. The team you started, it's never the team you ended with. This happens year after year after year. Somebody makes the playoff who sucked the year before because they didn't get any injuries, right? Our feature biography is Albert Schweitzer, Alsatian German theologian and physician. He actually worked in the poor countries. He did a lot of work in Africa. Mm-hmm. He was born January 14th in 1875 in Kaiserberg, Germany. He died in Gabon. Speaking of poor countries in Africa, he died at the age of 90, a ripe old age of 90 in 1965, in Lambaréné, Gabon. And you probably don't remember this. You're of a different generation, but back in my day, the most example of a selfless benefactor to humanity was Albert Schweitzer. He didn't do it for the money. 1925. But he did
get a Nobel Peace Prize, which means he did get money.
Hell yeah.
He did get paid out for doing it at some point.
He didn't do it.
His just reward. Yeah, probably.
He may have just given it to charity, for all we know, because he was a doctor who was doing things for helping save poor people. 1925, Mishima Yokio, Japanese author. He would be 101 today. Faye Dunaway, we covered. Harold Shipman, British physicist and serial killer. Don't forget our serial killers have birthdays, too, by golly. Got to be proud of that. I don't know. We never find out about their victims' birthdays. Don't you find that interesting?
Victim of famed serial killer died today.
Yeah, it's like we don't care about the serial killer. We'd like to know about their victims, their lives. They would, normal lives they were leading before this piece of shit came along. 1963 is the birthday of Steven Soderbergh. I thought he was older than that, but he's actually younger than me. So he's turning 63 today. And it's also birthday of LL Cool J, born in 1968. So he's turning 56 today, 58 today. Can't do math.
We can count.
LL Cool J's birthday. Going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. You're supposed to say, I don't think so.
I don't know any of his songs. I don't think so. We'll there you go.
We got this. I'm going back to Cali. Going back to Cali. Man, I don't think so.
I don't know how it goes. I don't know what he sounds like.
Gratification day is Ratification Day, I think it has something to do with the United States being declared a country by everybody else.
Yeah.
That's today, January 14th.
Sadly, you do have to be accepted on the global globe.
That's right. Yep, you have to do these things that go, hey, everybody recognizes our president. Well, we didn't have a president yet, but we're still recognized as a country with a Congress and all that fun shit.
That's the problem with Taiwan. Taiwan's trying to get that international acclamation that they're not part of China, but everyone wants to lick China's balls. So
it's been 80 years since it's about 80 years since Taiwan broke away, so I don't think they're going to get any recognition. They do get recognition, by the way. They just don't get recognized formally, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. The UN hasn't. I think the UN hasn't said they are a country.
No, they got a seat.
Oh, did it get UN? Okay.
I think Taiwan has a seat. I'm not sure. You have to check on that. Anyway, other days. Today's National Dress Up Your Pet Day and National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day. I
wish I could get pastrami in this country. Sadly,
there's no delis.
Sadly, that stuff is like a Jewish thing, and I don't know if you know the history of the Netherlands, but we kind of got rid of all of them.
There's Jews in the Netherlands, right?
Of course there still are. Some came back, but I'm just saying the cultural marker of that stuff, like we don't have bagels really either. Like you can't find a bagel in a grocery store. We don't have, I think we have rye bread. That's...
Yeah, I grew up in Wisconsin. Nobody had bagels either. So it's not unusual.
But bagels are technically Jewish, and pastrami is also technically a Jewish meat. It was made by Jews in Germany, I think, was the history of the meat or something.
Pastrami, right? I would say get on a train, go to Berlin. You'll probably find some.
Exactly. You're probably right. Just in the Netherlands, it's not. I probably have to go to the specialty butcher or something.
What's your closest German city? It might be Hamburg or what? I don't even know. What's your closest German city? Hamburg or Munich or something like that?
No, Munich is on the other side of the country. So
that's right. Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't go to Munich. We can go next time.
Whatever. Anyway, it's National Hot Pastrami Day. Those are your limericks, your mispronunciations, your quips, your smartassness, everything for January 14th, 2026 on Before Hot Pastrami.
Delicious. Delicious hot pastrami. Okay, I have three haikus for you. All about all of these things that we've talked about on... Yes, beat the meat, Vanka. Thank you for saying that in chat.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I've got three different haikus for you. My first one is, dolphins glide through dreams. Right. Perfect season. Victory. Dula's legacy. Even kind of rhymes. Yeah. In Africa's heart, Schweitzers hand heal and unite. Peace blooms in his grace. And then finally, pastrami dreams rise. January savory call. Joy in every bite. I do love pastrami though. It is a very good meat. It tastes very good.
Yeah, it's loaded with peppercorns.
Seasoning, yeah. It's just very seasoned meat, and I love seasoning in my food. Mm-hmm. There, of course, are no international days because the first 2 weeks and almost basically the first 3 weeks of January are all about you. So celebrate yourself and what you're doing to make the world better. Whether it's being a good person, trying to be a good person, or, not hating anybody and not being hateful. Don't hold any hate in your heart. And, this has been Allison from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. As we tie off our Wacky and Weird Wednesday, don't forget to subscribe to the Before Coffee Podcast channel. That's where you can find it on YouTube, Before Coffee Podcast, where you can show YouTube that you enjoy watching the show and you want to support it and let the algorithm take us higher. Also appreciate all the people already subscribed, supporting us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and of course following on Twitch. Don't forget to turn on those notifications so you know we can go live and post a video. And here is our bearable mic drop moment. The unwanted visitor. Does anybody ever want a bear to visit them? Most people don't.
CBS LA's Lauren Posen
Finally
at the
moved
house
out.
with the incredible
Well,
story and
I'm assuming
video
it's a he bear because it's
about
huge.
the wild animal to leave.
550-pound bear. Yeah, it's a he.
Well, Susie, the bear
I thought it was 440. Maybe it got heavier since it living in the basement.
And for the first time tonight, we're
No, the
seeing
candy
damage
store
this
guy was
bear
440.
left behind. With his sniff of fresh air,
Oh, look at that.
Smarter than the average bear.
50-pound black bear.
Wow, how does it even fit through that hole?
He spent so
All
much time under
fluff.
there that I really think he thinks it's his.
He probably
home.
got too fat, couldn't
And
get
I'm no
back in.
intruder.
Yeah, right. I had to lose some
He's
weight.
been on edge ever since
Poor
this
guy.
massive
Couldn't
black
sleep in
bear
his
moved
house.
under his house just before
He had
Thanksgiving.
to cut off his
Bumping,
gas so it wouldn't rip the
thumping,
gas pipes.
He'd just get restless and sort of roll over, I guess.
After weeks of sleeping under his house and failed attempts by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife,
Trying to trank
that
him.
even trapped
That's a
the
trank
wrong
gun.
bear, this bear's free stay finally ended. The security camera footage catches the bear racing around the house as a volunteer from the nonprofit Bear League uses paintballs.
Yeah, the
to
great thing
scare it
about
away.
Oh,
it's a
Johnson says the
paintball.
group called
The great thing
offers
about
to handle
black
the
bears is
tricky
they're
job.
very skittish, so you can just
I
scare
wasn't
them
even
away.
ready for it. These guys
If
are
it was a
just-
grizzly
that's what
bear,
they do. They're
he
like
would have
ghost
swiped at
hunters.
your face
The
and
bear
taken
did
it clean
come
off.
back, but this time,
yeah. If you
Johnson
see,
was
if
ready.
you see a black
With the
bear,
new
most
pole
bears in
Aww.
the
that
wild,
gave the bear an electric
they're
shock
running
when
away
he
from you.
touched it.
Aw, poor
He quickly
bear.
tried to break in again. He says the bear's time under his house left massive damage.
He found somewhere
Tens of
else to live. He
thousands
just
of
moved into
dollars,
somebody else's
including
house. Oh.
bent gas lines.
It's just a
Oh,
mess.
no, he could have got a gas leak.
Air ducts
Turn the
are
gas
just
off.
Shredded, and there's just a
I hope his
wire, a
insurance
coil
pays for that
hanging
shit.
there, and then there's
Yeah,
some
you can't. That's
cords
definitely
and
natural disaster
speaker
right
wires
there.
that are been pulled
I mean,
down.
it ain't the guy's
It's
fault
sort
he
of
has a house there.
crater
He didn't build
Yeah.
it there.
I don't
you
know
know.
if he was sort of digging
Needs to
like
live
a place
someplace.
a little bowl to sleep in.
They needed to give this guy a
Insulation
cave to
all
live in
over.
or something.
Yeah, that's
Build
what
him a
he's
nice
saying.
little-
That's exactly what he's saying. It's like maybe we need to build a shelter for him so he's not living in my
His home
fucking
finally smells
basement.
like home again, and not his
I guess
crawl
it's more of a
space.
cellar than a basement.
Pretty much right under here. And I sniffed in that vent, and that smell's gone. It's like this musty, dusty smell, but it's sweet at the same time.
Like honey.
The bear smell. I smelled it. Oh,
So
no,
the
it's
bear
like
is
garbage.
tagged, but
It
it's
depends on what they've
unclear
been
where he
rolling
lived.
around. in.
Freaking news anchor is like, ugh, musty
Reporting
bear
live,
smell.
Argentina,
She was like,
Lauren
ugh.
Posen,
She
CBS
looked like she was gonna throw
Stays
up.
away, Lauren. Thank you.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons. And follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old